Raphael,
Hi, Petra. Hi.
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You?
I'm fine, thank you. Are you ready for your pasta making session today?
I am. The eggs are out, coming to room temperature, and it's
Yeah.
just in a few hours I'm going to get started with the dough. And I've been looking forward to it all week. And yeah, that'll be the
Yeah.
highlight of the day. After, of course, talking with you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But I've been wondering, the flour that you use, is it normal flour or do you use this 00 flour?
Yeah, the flour was a difficult thing. So I use the 00 flour. We took a trip, my wife and I, to Italy in September and stocked up the car with all different types of, everything from olive
Yeah.
oil to cheese to flour to
Oh,
wine
wow.
to everything that we needed. So I'm starting to run low, which means it's about time to take another trip. Italy, the border is just about 2 hours here from here in Graz. So
Yeah.
I tried when I first started. I didn't know or at least the Austrian flour types 405, 450. It didn't
Oh,
mean
yeah.
anything to me because in America we had a different thing, and in Italy it was just a 00. So it took some experimenting and saying, well, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, and then finally we went to Italy, got the 00, and said that works. So
Um,
we stuck with that. But then it depends on the type of pasta. So if I make orecchiette or if I make a small pasta, then I use a semolina, which is a little bit harder of a flour. But if I'm making
oh,
spaghetti or
okay.
tagliatelle, then I use the 00.
Oh, I
So
see.
yeah.
Yeah, because I thought, yeah, I agree with you. I also, because I bake bread and it took me a while to figure out which flour works the best, yeah, for the way I like my bread. So it's,
And then you find what works for you, and then you stick. And everybody has their own opinion, but you know what's right.
exactly, yeah, yeah. But yeah, but so as I said to my your Facebook pasta post is my Sunday fix. I
I
love to see what you make.
I wish you could taste it. I wish there was some, perhaps in like 10 years or something, with the
I
smartphones, we'll
know
get so smart that they can give you some virtual
it
tasting of
will.
it. But yeah.
I'm sure somebody will think about that.
But as the as the restrictions of Corona start to lighten up, perhaps actually eating together will be sometime in the near
Yeah.
future.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Um, but listen, tell me about this marriage of Figaro that you're doing now.
Yeah, so I'm very excited at the Kunstuniversität here in Graz, where I'm on faculty. We're putting on our summer semester production of The Marriage of Figaro.
Oh,
Nobody, like 4 or 5 months ago, nobody thought this was actually going to be happen. It's something that was planned out before Corona actually came, and we were hoping, we were keeping our fingers crossed. And then finally, the decision came that we would do the opera because the students need the experience of doing a real
oh
opera.
yeah.
And there's no better piece to bring people back together after so much time socially distanced than The Marriage of Figaro. Um, and so but there still are very strict Corona restrictions in terms of Abstand and making sure that there's social distance between the players and between the singers. And so it's not your average Marriage of Figaro in the sense it's concert version, which means there's no staging, there's no costumes, but the singers still
Oh,
need the experience of singing on the stage. So we've built a stage especially for this, and it's wonderful music. We have two beautiful casts. They sing wonderful. It's amazing that they're students because they sound just like the quality that you would get in any fine opera house. So they're really excited to put this
wonderful.
production
Mm,
on. But it's not without its set of challenges. So, for
mm.
example, the um, the string section. Usually, when you have violins, you have two violinists to a stand, and then everybody's pretty close together. So that helps page turns. That helps in terms of ensemble, keeping people together. Now we have one violinist to each stand, and we have about 2.5 meters between each player. Between the singers and me, there are about 35 meters distance. The flutes are put in a little plastic box away. So we're taking the strictest precautions we can to ensure everybody's safety during this production. Um, but despite all of that, it's amazing to see in just 1 week, because this week we start with the end rehearsals, in just 1 week how we were able to overcome all of these challenges, and just from the joy of making music together. It's still, there's still work to do, and it's going to be a very interesting week to see how this develops. But we're all very excited and blessed that we can make music at all, let alone an opera.
So it's wonderful how they adapted, and how they you know, how things within a week.
Yeah, how they adapted and had the tenacity and the perseverance to actually go through with it, because these are not circumstances that you find in a normal theater. These are not circumstances, I hope, I pray, that the students will ever have to deal with again in the future once we've gotten beyond the corona restrictions.
Yeah.
And just to see how, in the face of the challenge, they rose to the call and are giving their best and overcoming the challenge in a way that it's sounding great. And we were all nervous about this in the beginning. I remember the first day I saw the stage, I said, this looks like we're doing a Mahler symphony. The whole entire room is spread out. And I said, but this is just a small Mozart opera. How can this be? And with all of this, the distance, it's been incredible. But a joy to lead these wonderful singers and these wonderful musicians in a comeback that we've all been waiting for, in a piece that we all love. And yeah, so we're gonna do it. And this week it all comes down to fine tuning and getting ready for the live streams. So there will be 3 performances live streamed, and I'll be conducting the first 2 on June 5th and June 7th.
Okay.
Live streamed on Vimeo. And then there's a student conductor, Paul Maya, who will be conducting the final performance.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
yeah, that can happen. But now, when they do this, when they with the rehearsals, of course, they have to now adapt. Do you think there's a change in how this is played? You know, I asked a baritone yesterday as well. I assume if you play a say a part where you have to be close to somebody, or there's a, you know, sort of a more intimate moment, or even if it's just this where two singers have to be together but they can't now, do you think that mentally you play this totally different than you would have if it was the other, you know, if it was normal times?
I think there's an extra element of caution that we have now, because what used to be very easy with violins sitting next to each other, that you just feel it together, is now much more challenging, especially when you have fast notes going by together. And in Nozze di Figaro, there's so many abrupt changes from forte to piano. From here, once the measure, the speed is faster, the speed is slower. With the tempi too, it's very difficult to rely on your ears. A lot of playing in the orchestra is not just following the conductor, but listening to each other. And especially in opera, is accompanying the singers. But when the singers' voices are coming from 35 meters away, there is a delay. And so you have to feel, listen, calculate the distance, and there's all of these extra mental processes, which can be restricting. And we've thought about slowing down tempi to make sure that we're together, but you know, in the heat of the moment, the music is the music, and we have to do what the music calls for. And yeah, we're overcoming these challenges. But I think it is I think the tricky thing for the singers in particular, besides the distance, is putting on this music theater in a concertante version that's going to be streamed. So they're singing in front of microphones for the audio, you know, because there's no public, there's no audience at all. It's only a live stream. And so, which is also a challenge in itself, to try to perform with nobody in the room. And then you finish a grand finale, and then there's nobody to clap, or there's not that audience participation. What's also difficult is for the singers to sing. They can't sing to each other, because the second they turn their head, it's not in the microphone anymore.
Oh, I see.
So that's also a challenging thing, because it's so much interaction. It's an ensemble opera where there is, the characters sing to each other and then change teams and then jump around. And Susanna's, the Countess's dressed up as Susanna, Cherubino's dressed up at, but we don't have that liberty. So there is an element of the opera that's missing, that I've insisted that the singers help compensate for by having the colors and the voices, and by doing all of the régie, all of the scenery, everything that there is, with their eyes, with the colors of their voice. And that's helped this production become a very colorful, a very, very interesting performance.
Well, but if you say it like that, then I think what a great, yes, it has its drawbacks, but great that they now use other things to compensate, that they learn that as well. Like you say, now use your eyes and use other means to project this thing. So what a wonderful learning experience as well for them.
Yeah, I think for the students, it's a great way to really explore in depth personally the relationship to the piece, and to understand how Mozart, in his orchestration, in his selection of keys and gestures and shapes, creates all of the scenery, all of the costumes, all of the imagery that we need for this music is in the score. And so normally singers are concerned on stage with not only singing healthfully and beautifully, but when do I have to run and get this prop? When do I have to be on stage left, stage right? So the opportunity to translate all of those non-musical elements of the performance into a pure musical event is definitely an opportunity for growth and a deep understanding of this piece that perhaps in a normal circumstance they wouldn't have gotten.
I think I saw yesterday on my way back from the shops, I saw one of the students here, two of the students here from MDV, and also they were doing something, and the just that wonderful, oh, we're back and we're doing things. And is that the same there? Are they all very excited to be able to do that?
Oh yeah, you walk in the room and you feel the joy. Even on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, which is the last time anybody wants to sing, you walk into the room and you can feel just this excitement of, oh, we're finally back together, not only to make music, but with the hope of, if we've come this far, that we can be together in the same room, then perhaps in a matter of months, we can get back to some type of normal life that we've all been waiting for and that we've all been hungry for. But it's definitely palpable, and every moment to sing is a blessing, because yeah, until now it's been really, even in the rehearsal process before the orchestra came, we could only rehearse with 4 singers in a room. 4 singers in a room, a conductor and a pianist. So many of the rehearsals I had to lead from the piano myself, just so I could sneak in a 5th singer, because we're limited to 6 people in a room. And well, you have 12, 13 people singing at any given time, plus the choirs, so we had to really hack up the rehearsals to rehearse in small sections, which was also frustrating because you hear these things that are missing, but then to actually finally come together and hear the piece as a whole, it's really, really thrilling.
Oh, that must be amazing then. It's strange how these little things that we now experience again, how it brings so much joy, that things that we just took for granted, and just did, and now suddenly it all comes back, and it's a different kind of feeling, I think. Yeah,
and we have, I think, a renewed appreciation for it. It's like one of those things, once you've lost it, you realize how dear something was to you, and now that it's coming back, we say, wow, it's even more important now than ever to use this opportunity to make art, to make music, to say something meaningful. So yeah, you feel it when you walk in the room.
And then what's next for the students? What is after this?
So after this production, Figaro will be returning next semester in a fully staged, the entire opera. With all recitatives, with all staging, costumes, the way that it's supposed to be. So this is kind of a transition opportunity for the students to get to know the score, get the opportunity to perform in a live stream, and know the music before next semester goes into intense, really bringing the piece to the stage as it should be.
And then there will be audience.
And then there will be audience. I don't want to promise anything now. It seems, yes, that's the thing. I don't want to jinx it, but the goal is to have a fully normal staged audience, everything, the opera as we have always known it. Yeah. So the
Oh,
fingers
that's
are
wonderful.
crossed.
Yeah, yeah. But Raphael, I wish you all the best, and for the students as well. Toi 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 for their performance, and I'll be checking on where do we find the link for the live streaming.
I'll be sharing the link on all of my social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be happy to send a link to you and share on the Artist Voice page and make that accessible.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.
So have a lovely Sunday afternoon making pasta. And
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. And
I'll look forward to the post to see what you've made.
Great. Thank you for having me back. It was a pleasure to talk to you again.
No, it was my pleasure. Okay, Raphael. Bye.
Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.